I used to feel like I can write short films, no problem. But the second I try to write a feature, the middle turns into fog. Then I rewatched Toy Story and realized, oh, there's a missing mechanism in my script. Not a plot twist, not better dialogue, a structure problem, a character problem, a connection problem. And Toy Story is the movie that finally made it visible. Everyone tells you 3 acts, which is great, but all it really says is a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah, true, but everyone knows that. For me, it was still too blurry when I tried to outline, because Act 2 is the middle. It's like saying, drive from LA to New York. Okay, but what makes it a journey? Where do you stop? Where do you turn? What's the actual route? Or worse, what if all you've got is go east? You know the direction, but you don't have the map. That's what it felt like. Then I found a framework, the 8-sequence structure, popularized by Paul Joseph Gulino. And it didn't help because it gave me 8 boxes to fill. It helped because it made a feature feel buildable. It's basically build a feature like 8 short films stitched together, not random shorts. This is the key. 8 modules connected by one engine. Each one has a job. And don't worry, this doesn't replace 3 acts. It just breaks those acts into smaller units, so you can actually see where the story is supposed to turn. I remember thinking, wait, I can write shorts? So I can write 8 shorts. And you can't imagine how that felt. It was like I finally saw a light in the darkness. And the movie that showed me this clearly was Toy Story. Before we break Toy Story into 8 sequences, I need to say what I was missing. My plots moved, but nobody cared. Because I didn't understand story beyond plot. At the most basic level, story sounds simple. Someone wants something, and they try to get it. And for a long time, I thought that was the whole game. But my script kept falling apart, especially at feature length, because want something, try to get it, can create events, but it doesn't automatically create investment. Here's the thing I resisted forever. Stories really hit when the external goal forces an internal change, and I used to hate that. Character growth sounded cheesy and fake, like it automatically makes stories predictable. But later, when I went back to basics, I realized I wasn't resisting growth. I was resisting the cheap version of it. The convenient, unearned kind, where the movie stops, announces the theme, everyone cries, roll credits. That's the fake version. That's the cliche. But here's what's even more annoying. The movies I love actually run on the same principle, just invisibly. They don't teach a lesson. They put a character under pressure until the truth leaks out. So I stopped trying to break the rules, just avoid cliches, and did the annoying thing instead. I tried to actually understand them. Because the cliche is true for a reason. To break the rules, you have to understand them first. And this is where the 8-sequence approach really helped me. Not because it gave me 8 boxes, but because it showed me how the external story and the internal story are supposed to talk to each other. Like the plot is forcing change, not handing out a lesson at the end. It revealed the missing mechanism I didn't know I was missing. The mirror moment. A mirror moment is a self-reckoning. It's the moment the character is forced to see themselves clearly and think, who am I and who have I become? It's when the want collides with the need, and the outside world finally changes something inside. And no, it doesn't have to be a literal mirror. It's called that because it's the moment the story makes their character look at themselves. In Harry Potter, there's literally a magical mirror. Harry looks in and sees his parents. That's a literal mirror moment. But most movies don't use an actual mirror. The moment is still doing the same job. It forces honesty. It flips the lens. And once that happens, Act 3 can actually move. Now let's see it in Toy Story. Okay, here's Toy Story as 8 mini movies, and I'm doing this because I want you to feel the craft in action. Each sequence is basically a short film, beginning, middle, end. And most importantly, a job. Something changes the situation and a clear goal appears. We open in Woody's world. He's Andy's favorite and he runs the room. Then the event hits. Andy's birthday gets moved up. The toys panic because a new toy means someone might get replaced. Woody's goal is simple: calm everybody down, keep the system stable, keep normal intact. And then Buzz arrives. Inciting incident, threat confirmed. Buzz is instantly cooler, and worst of all, he doesn't even know he's a toy. Everyone's obsessed with him, and Woody starts losing the room. So Woody's goal becomes deny Buzz, minimize Buzz, prove he still matters. Rivalry ignites.
Shut up. In a couple of days, everything will be just the way it was. They'll see.
That's him trying to hold on to a world that's already changing. This is where the plot spine locks in. Woody's jealousy causes a disaster. Buzz goes out the window, Woody gets blamed. And then they are knocked into the outside world. Now the mission is clear and it runs through the rest of the movie. Get back to Andy. Now everything escalates. The world is huge and dangerous, and instead of closing in, they get further away from the goal. Buzz is furious, Woody needs him. The pressure keeps tightening until they're thrown into Sid's house. Nightmare unlocked. Sid's room is like a horror film for toys. Buzz breaks. His fantasy collapses. He realizes he's not a space ranger, and the tone shifts. Adventure becomes survival, and the movie starts looking inward, not just outward. This is the hinge. Woody tries to cheer Buzz up and ends up telling the truth about himself. He starts with the toy pitch. A kid loves you because you are his toy, but then it slips out. Why would Andy want me when he has you? And that line is everything because Woody finally hears his own insecurity out loud. This was never just get home. It was fear, replacement, status. And because up to this point, Woody could only see Buzz as a threat. This is the moment it flips. For the first time, he sees Buzz as a friend. That's the internal turn, and it's what makes the next phase feel earned. Now the story demands a receipt. Woody doesn't get to learn a lesson and move on. He has to prove it under pressure. So he risks everything to save Buzz from Sid's rocket plan. Same goal, upgraded meaning. And now the movie cashes the promise. The chase is pure external payoff. Catch the moving track, reunite with Andy, make it home. But it's charged now. Because Woody and Buzz aren't rivals anymore. They are a team. Same destination, different driver. And there you have it. 8 mini movies, 8 jobs. Once you see the jobs, you can see exactly where the internal story turns and why the ending doesn't feel like more stuff happening. It feels like the story leveling up. Me discovering the mirror moment changed everything. This is the engine I was missing. Before sequence 6, the goal is already there, get back to Andy. But it's not clean because Woody is still fighting a different war underneath. Status, control, fear of being replaced. So even when the plot is moving, the feeling is messy. Then sequence 6 happens, Woody's mirror moment. Want collides with need. And the key is, Toy Story doesn't reward that realization with a speech. It demands proof in action. That's sequence 7, the rescue. Woody risks himself for Buzz not because it's strategic, but because it's right. And the second he does that, the audience feels the movie click into a higher gear. Now here's my favorite insight. A lot of movies try to boost Act 3 momentum by introducing a new goal. Sometimes it works, especially if the audience has been waiting for it. But a lot of the time, a late new goal feels gimmicky because it needs new setup, and that slows the story down right when it should accelerate. On the other hand, keeping the same goal without a boost can feel like you are hitting the same beat too long. Toy Story solves both problems in the most elegant way possible. It keeps the same goal, but upgrades the motivation. That's what the mirror moment is really doing. It doesn't change the destination, it changes the driver. Same goal, renewed motivation, and suddenly the finale has momentum. Because we're not watching a toy try to get home anymore, we're watching a character becomes the person who deserves to get there. So sequence 8 isn't just stuff happening, it's payoff charged with meaning. Same mission, different person. So now, when I'm outlining a feature, I look for 3 things. Where does the story snap into its mission? Where does the character face themselves? And what Act 3 sequence proves that change in action? So that's the mechanism I was missing. In Toy Story, the spine locks in, then the mirror moment flips the character. And Act 3 demands proof in action. Lock in, mirror moment, proof. Same goal, upgraded motivation. That's why the ending hits. And that's the tool I'm stealing for my own script. Thanks for watching.